Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is introduction of measurement scales and interpretation of test scores. Interpreting test scores are all type of research data, test result data, survey data is called raw data and collected using four basic scales that is nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio are four basic scales for data collection. Ratio is more sophisticated than interval. Interval is more sophisticated than ordinal, and ordinal is more sophisticated than normal. A variable measured on a nominal scale is a variable that does not really have any evaluative distinctions. One value is really not any greater than another. A good example of a nominal variable is gender. With nominal variable, there is a qualitative difference between values, not a quantitative one. Something measured on an ordinal scale does have an evaluative connotation. One value is greater or larger or better than the other. With ordinal scale, we only know that one value is better than other or 10 is better than 9. A variable measured on interval or ratio scale has maximum evaluative distinction. After the collection of data, there are three basic ways to compare and interpret result obtained by responses. Student responses can be compared and interpreted with an absolute standard, with a criterion referenced standard, or with a norm reference standard. Some example from daily life and educational context may make this clear. That is absolute a characteristic is simplify state the observed outcome. He is 6 and 2 tall. He spelled correctly 45 out of 50 English word. Next we have criterion reference. Compare the person performance with a standard or criterion. He is tall enough to catch the branch of this tree. His score of 40 out of 50 is greater than minimum cut of point 33, so he must promoted to the next class. Next, last is third one is norm referenced. Compare a person's performance with that of other people in the same context. He is the third fastest bowler in the Pakistani squad 15. His score of 37 out of 50 was not very good. 65% of his class fellow did better. All three types of score interpretation are useful depending on the purpose for which comparison made. An absolute score merely describes a measure of performance or achievement without comparing it with any set or specified standard. Scores are not particularly useful without any kind of comparison. Criterion reference score compare test performance with a specific standard, such as comparison enable the test interpreter to decide whether the score are satisfactory according to established standards. Norm reference tests compare test performance with that of others who were measured by the same procedures. Teachers are usually more interested in knowing how children compare with a useful standard than how they compare with other children. But norm reference comparisons may also provide useful insights. Next, we have interpreting test scores by percentiles. The student score in terms of criterion reference score are most easy to understand and interpret because they are straightforward and usually represent in percentage or raw scores, while norm reference scores are often converted to derive standard score or converted into percentiles. Derived standard scores are usually based on the normal curve, having an arbitrary mean to compare the respondent who took the same test. The conversion of student score into students' percentile score or on a test indicate what percentage of other students are fell below that student score who took the same test. Percentiles are most often used for determining the relative standard position of any student in population. Percentile ranks are an easy way to convey a student's standing at test relative to other test takers. So today's lecture is end. I hope you enjoy my lecture. If you are new on my channel then like and subscribe my channel. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.